What's good, y'all? It's your boy Shane Hector. Is it at WBGR? We are coming at you live from this nice little station. No BS, no holds barred sports talk show is back in the building again. We're back. And this week, Mr. Unregulated has come back from a two week hiatus. Where was you at, my friend?
Well, let's start off. I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago, but I'll tell you what happened last week. Yeah. The District Heights Chiefs went to the Holiday Bowl. The 9U won the championship, the Holiday Bowl championship. District Heights Chiefs. Not only did they win the championship, but they shut every opponent out. No one scored. The defensive coordinator, hats off to him.
Shut everybody out. Congratulations, District Heights Chiefs, especially as it playing this year. And the thing is, I love defense. That's always been. Yeah. Like, if I was to be a football coach, I'm sorry, I'm be defensive minded because I've always loved defense. I always tell people offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships, baby.
Exactly.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. We're going to show you a couple of things up here that we're going to be talking about. So, we are going to talk about NFL, weekly recap, the picks and stuff like that. NCAA college football playoffs, it's set now. We can actually break that down and talk about analysis for that. We'll talk about Deontay Wilder and all those boys, and we're also going to talk about the Wizards.
Now, I can't wait to get into this Wilder thing.
Yeah.
And the Wizards. Oh.
Yeah, we got
There's so many rumors going around right now. John Wall to the Lakers and
exactly. That's what I'm like.
And Bradley Beal to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, this is gonna be
this is going around.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a great show. All right, so let's get into it. So NFL. Last week I thought was a funny week. I told this to my friend, Mr. AJ, who's also the director of the short film that I'm going to be doing very soon, called Janice the Road 2. Okay. But we'll get into that on another day. But anyway, I said to people, I knew the Patriots were going to beat the Vikings. I just didn't think they was going to beat them in that fashion, but I knew what it was. But everybody, I don't know if you guys already saw this, Bill Belichick had told Adam Thielen to shut the F up.
He did what?
Yeah, he did. Oh, we all caught it. I mean, I literally saw him on the sideline. I'm like, did Belichick just... Oh, snap. And that's why I was like, oh.
Well, is he like the only coach in the league that can get away with something like that?
No, not really. Because the Bleacher Report caught it. They caught it and they lit him up on Twitter like something serious.
I mean, considering the salaries of the players and, a lot of these players these days think, okay, he's the coach, but I'm the man. I get this type of money. They need me. They depend on me. So I mean,
that may very well be true. But here's the thing, though. What people gotta understand is Adam Thielen got mad because of the fact that Belichick had challenged the play because he was trying to overturn the spot of the football because it was clearly very obvious that that the running back was short. Mm-hmm. Very obvious, but the refs didn't overturn it anyway, so it's just like, Adam, I don't even know why you're getting mad. Like, that's part of the game. That's just what it is. You're going to get mad at Coach Belichick for throwing the challenge flag for something that he can challenge, that's a right that's given to him by the NFL to do so, and then you're going to go at him and think for a second that he's not going to bump back at you. I remember when Belichick was mic'd up years ago, back when the Baltimore Ravens played New England, and Derek Mason came down the sideline running his mouth towards Belichick, and Belichick said, F you. He's a F you. Like, Belichick does not care. He doesn't care. So why would you think that he would be any different with Adam? So, and then on top of that, the Vikings ended up losing the game 24-10. Right. It is what it is. And I told people, I don't know what made you think the Patriots was not going to win. And then on top of that, they got a tough road ahead of them now because now you're looking at the remaining games. They got to look at the Jets again. They got to play the Dolphins this coming Sunday. Then they got to play Pittsburgh.
That's going to be a tough one there.
That's going to be the tough one. And the thing is, that's in Pittsburgh. So that's not like that's going to be a cakewalk. In Pittsburgh right now, they in a must-win situation because of the fact that Baltimore is... I didn't want to say this. I'm actually starting to believe in them. I'm actually starting to believe in Baltimore. It's something about...
They look pretty good now, but how far can this young quarterback really take them? I mean,
he's a mobile quarterback, and I think the kid, he hasn't really played. I mean, throughout training camp, he hasn't really been on with the first team offense. I don't blame him. I don't blame Lamar Jackson for being ill-prepared. I blame his coaches for being ill-prepared because because this kid was ready. He knows the offense. The offense is not the issue for him. It's the fact that he's never played with the first team before, and then you're expecting him to make miracles. Now, he did win the past 2 games, but they were against teams that they should have been beating. But it's just that he'll have a big test coming up this Sunday. He's got to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I'm kind of optimistic, but, we'll get into the picks in a minute. But I did want to talk about the Saints and the Cowboys. How the heck did the Saints lose to the Dallas Cowboys?
That's the question. I mean, that's a question that the whole world is asking. I mean, who knows? I mean, it just... I don't know. I mean, maybe the Cowboys are that good. Maybe their defense is that good, or maybe the Saints were not prepared. Maybe they just came in there and thought that they expected to win and thought it was going to be easy.
But you lost to the Cowboys. The Cowboys. And I would have understood if you would have lost to I would have understood if they would have lost to the Rams or the Bears. Somebody like that. Somebody that's actually good. Lost to the Cowboys, who have only Dak Prescott. Now, I will give them one thing. The Cowboys offense, ever since Amari Cooper came, it's looked a lot better. I wouldn't say great, but it's looked better. I will give them that. Because Amari Cooper, with him being in the lineup, what happens is now Amari Cooper is able to fly down the field and do the things that he does, and I can see why they're able to do that. And so, and he's created a different dynamic. So Dak Prescott is able to get the ball out to him as quickly as he wants to, and it allows him to open up the field a little bit more. I still don't trust their tight ends because I think their tight ends are trash, but they got something to look forward to. Not to mention, Ezekiel Elliott's still able to get off. He's still to do the things that he does. So, I guess, but DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory, I mean, they did their thing. I mean, they shut down Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, didn't let him go anywhere. And I like that kid, Vander Esch. I like him. I think he's a pretty decent linebacker. I like the way he's been playing. Then on top of that, he had the interception. I mean, yeah. Drew Brees had 27 yards passing, which is highly unusual because when you looked at all the games this year for the Saints, because I actually looked at the stats myself, Drew Brees literally had bare minimum 300 yards per game. And the only game where he did not have 300 yards, even in their first loss of the season, when they played the Buccaneers, he still threw for 400 in that game. He had 300 yards a game per game all season until Dallas.
Well, what I see from this game is that the Saints lost this game. They probably were not prepared. But this game, losing this game to the Dallas Cowboys in the position that the Cowboys are in now, the Saints may very well have to see the Cowboys in the postseason. What is that going to do? It's going to have the Cowboys coming in real overconfident, and it's going to be a harder game than it should be.
That's true. But I will say this. I just you could have never told me that was going to happen. You could have never told me that this team would have lost the way they did. But, it is what it is. So, I guess going forward, they always say never judge a book by its cover.
Well, you know what? I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because if the cover is cemented in pure 24 karat gold, I'm going to judge that book as being a fine piece of art, or a nice book, a book worthy of my money.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to go ahead and move forward. We're going to talk about the picks for the week. So,
you know what? before we get into that, just let me say something because my phone is liable to go off at any time.
Okay.
I don't know who has a Ed 7 phone out there from Sprint, but I'm gonna tell you something. I turned my phone off, but for some reason it's back on. Phone calls come in and I don't see the numbers. I mean, what's going on with this phone?
I don't know.
You know, I keep hearing it ding ding, and I turned the phone off. Like, is it time to switch to Apple? I mean, what's going on?
I mean, you could do that, my friend. That is totally up to you.
I've been an Android man for a very long time, but I mean, I'm starting to see some weird things happening with this Android.
Well, anywho, all right. So, weekly picks. Well, the Titans and Jaguars, we don't even need to talk about that one because Derrick Henry, which we're going to talk about him later on. I mean, that was ridiculous, 30-9. I mean, the Jaguars, I don't even know who they are. They're 4-9. They need to just, tank. If I'm the Jaguars, tank the season. Just tank the season.
I wouldn't mind that. They play the Redskins in, 2 weeks?
Yeah, just tank the season.
Please tank it.
Just tank the season. Because at this point,
we need wins.
Because at this point, it's over. Just tank the season. All right, so Titans clearly won that one, and I would have picked them anyway just because of the fact that they were playing at home. So, Jets, Bills. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Didn't we just have this discussion with the New York team?
Why are you... Look, what? You haven't even been back a couple of minutes and already you're talking crazy. You can't say stuff like this on the air. Like, why?
Bills.
No!
Bills. The Bills run New York.
They can run New York up. No, they don't. Stop it. You know you're lying when you say that. No. Jets. 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 Panthers, Browns. Okay. This one was actually kind of a tricky one for me. Because the problem with the Browns is now they're starting to find ways to lose games again. I don't know why. They're a better team offensively. But defensively, they're starting to falter a little bit. But they are playing the Panthers. And the Panthers, they like to do the same thing. They also like to find a way to lose games. I don't know. If I had to choose out of those two, I probably should not pick them. Although I'm very crazy for picking these guys. I'm going to pick the Panthers on the road. And here's why. The Panthers need to try to hold that wild card spot. Because otherwise... you might as well just hang up the season. Might as well. Because otherwise Seattle will sneak right in there.
The Panthers are trying to hold the wild card spot, but Greg Williams is trying to be a coach in the NFL. Yeah. And I said when he took over the Browns that you would see a different team. And what you have seen since the second week he's taken over, you've seen a more competitive and a different team. So, I'm going to take the Browns. I think the Browns are not they're not a playoff team yet, but they're not a bad team.
Exactly. All right, so Falcons, Packers. I'm going to roll with the Falcons because that Packers secondary cannot stop Julio Jones or Calvin Ridley. I really just don't see it. And then on top of that, with the coaching change, I can't. There's no way you can tell me that. I don't even know who their backup head coach is because that's. And then on top of that, there's like a whole rack of rumors that Jim Harbaugh might be coming to coach them when the season is over. There's Josh McDaniels up in New England. But then Bob Kraft says the comment that he says the other day that it's nice that people, want our guys. He thinks it's nice. That usually is a headliner to say, you can try to get Josh if you want to. I don't think he's going to come. And I've been saying this for the longest time. You could try to go after our coordinators, but I can tell you right now, Josh McDaniels, I don't see him leaving. So that leaves only Jim Harbaugh.
Well, what about the guy up in Ohio State that's retiring?
Urban Meyer's wouldn't come to the NFL because he's got too many health issues. And that's part of the reason why he's retiring as it is, because he's got health issues. And I mean, Ohio State as a whole, I said this to people, you know what? Good football team. But honestly, without Urban Meyer, I honestly don't see how that team's going to be good. I don't. Unless they find another good coach. And then with Maryland getting the head coach that they just got, I hate to say it, I like the direction that Maryland is going to go. So we'll see what happens. But I got the Falcons in that game.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Falcons as well.
Okay. Colts, Texans. I'm not even gonna think about that. That's a no-brainer for me because Andrew Luck, he can't. He finds a way to lose games. He likes to throw interceptions. I'm wrong with the Texans.
Well, this is where we disagree. I'm going with the Colts. Yes.
I don't know this man. Just so y'all know, I do not know this man. I don't know who. If somebody can find Mr. Unregulated, find him because that ain't this guy over here. Did you just say the Colts?
Yes, sir.
Over the Texans at home?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let that be your upset.
No, it's not. You need to stop it.
There's one or two upsets every week. Why not the Colts?
Why would it be the Colts? The Colts can't even can't close games.
When I look at the way the Colts have been playing the past 3 to 4 weeks, they're capable of winning. So I don't think the Colts are a bad team. I actually think that if they didn't get the slow start, that they would be a playoff team. So I'm definitely going with the Colts.
All right. Well, here's what I got to say about that. So, Ravens Chiefs. I'm choosing the Baltimore Ravens for the upset. I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens because they get the number one as a defense overall, only allowing less than 17 points a game. That's only 2 touchdowns. Whereas the Chiefs, they're dropping about almost 5 touchdowns a game as the number one scoring offense in the NFL. But as we always say, offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships. I'm gonna roll with the Ravens in this one.
Okay. Let me break this down for you. The Ravens are going to give up 17 points. The Chiefs normally score 35 points. So if the Chiefs are not going to score 35 points because of the Ravens' defense, which is going to give them 17, you still have to consider the Chiefs will score an extra 10. So 17 plus 10 is 27. That'll be enough to beat the Ravens.
Okay, got you. All right, Patriots, Dolphins. These divisional games are kind of tough because, I don't put anything past Miami. I really don't. I never do.
They're so inconsistent.
They're inconsistent, but it's just that I don't put anything past Miami, especially since I've seen them beat New England before in these divisional games. But I'm going to roll with the Patriots just because of what I saw last week from the Minnesota team. They held the Minnesota offense to only 10 points, which is very rare because the Patriots defense don't like the whole have been giving up points out the wazoo. But I'm definitely gonna roll with the Patriots in this one.
Yeah, me too. I'll go with the Patriots as well.
Okay. Saints, Buccaneers. I got the Saints in this one, even though the Bucs beat them earlier this year. I am gonna roll with the Saints in this one. They'll get back on track. I don't let that Cowboys loss fool me. That was a win that I don't think anybody expected. So I'm going to say Saints this one. Probably going to be tight because it's a divisional game. But I'm rolling with the Saints.
I'm going to roll with the Saints, but I'm going to take the Bucs in the points.
In the point spread?
I think this will be a close game. I'm not sure that the Saints will completely bounce all the way back this week.
Okay. All right. So, Giants, Redskins.
The only thing to look forward to this game is another fumble involving the butt.
Yeah.
That's the only thing to look forward to. You got the butt fumble, then you got the butt recovery. And what will happen this time? Will he actually throw a pass off his butt? I mean, what's going to happen? Something's going to happen with this man's butt.
Okay.
In a minute, he's going to need the same surgical procedure as Dwight Howard. Both of them got butt problems.
Now you ain't right. Leave Dwight Howard alone, man. That man got to get his butt together.
Yeah, of course he got to get his butt together. He like grabbing things on the sideline, don't he? Tell him what he doing.
I'm gonna roll with the Giants in this one. Saquon Barkley is playing at the top of his game as a rookie. I like the way that boy plays. Plus, the top of that, I think if the offensive line for the Giants can protect Eli, even though I don't trust them against that Redskins defense, because them you got some cheesesteak eating dudes at defensive tackle. Them Alabama boys, oh my gosh, them boys are some cheesesteak eaters. But I'm going to give the Giants a bit of an edge, just a bit of an edge, just because I think Saquon Barkley can bail them out.
As much as I love the Redskins, and I can't wait to see this new quarterback that they got, Elroy Johnson. Or it's Elroy Johnson, right?
I think so.
Tony Johnson.
I don't even know.
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
Come on, man. I mean, like, really?
Buck fumble.
Really? So what we need, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The Ed Sevens from Sprint. I'm going to take the Giants as well.
Yep.
I think when I look at the Redskins' run defense, I don't like it. You see a lot of big runs happening with the against the Redskins, and it's because when you run the tape back and you look at it, you see Allen and Payne always going in the wrong direction. The run seems to always be behind them. They're pushing this way, and the run is coming this way. Is something wrong with the scheme? Or maybe they're shooting. They're not maintaining their gaps. But I don't like the run defense, to be honest with you.
No,
it seems the only time they're going to stop their run is if they run right at them.
All right, so moving on. Bengals, Chargers.
Shitty would be their thought.
Yeah, it's not Chargers.
Chargers.
That's not even that's an afterthought. Next. Broncos, Niners. I'm rolling with the Broncos. I gotta go with the Broncos in this one. I gotta give respect to that defense for the Broncos. They finally figured it out what it is, what they want to do, and especially Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay got 937 yards rushing, and I think that kid is really good. I think he's an excellent running back, and honestly, this year to me is the year of the running back. Is it, ladies and gentlemen? This is the year of the running back. I mean, Todd Gurley, Kareem Hunt before he did stupidness.
Yeah, what's going to happen with him?
He ain't coming back to the league. I can tell you that much.
Hold on, is he guilty or does he still?
Well, he's never been charged, but you know how this goes. In the eyes of the moral police, he's guilty, so it doesn't matter. I mean,
that's not in the eyes of the law. What gives the NFL the right to make decisions? Like, I know it's your brand.
It's not about the NFL. It's about the perception that they're going to give, because unfortunately what people have to understand is he did what he did. There's a video of it, and I saw the video.
Was it him?
Oh, it was him.
Did he say it was him? Did he say, "Oh, that was me"? And
yeah, he did a whole interview about it.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he did a whole interview about it. And I mean, he was remorseful, but the reason why the Chiefs cut him was because he straight up lied to them about it. Because he tried to downplay it like it was less than what it really was. It was like, dude, you shoved her, she shoved you, your boys took you away, whisked you away, then you go back when the girl's already on the ground and kick her while she's on the ground. Unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I said this to a friend. I think he probably would have been fine had he not kicked her. But because he went back and kicked her, mind you, he got pushed away. And the cops didn't charge him because the cops already knew what the situation was. The cops didn't charge him because they knew what the situation was. They was like, all right, well, she's saying one thing, he's saying another. She said she put his hands on him. He said he put his hands on her. What am I doing here? But then when the video comes out, you lied about it. You said to the team it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, mind you, this happened back in February. Now, if everybody goes back to the Ray Rice situation, it was the same situation. Ray Rice said the same thing, but he told them there was a video out there. He told them what he did, and he didn't lie about it. It's just that, unfortunately for Ray Rice, because that situation was so bad, and it felt like, a lot of women's rights groups went after Ray Rice so hard, they made it seem like the NFL was just trying to cover up for Ray Rice for his behavior. But I'm like, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, the girl still married him.
You know what? I don't condone
domestic violence.
Yeah, I don't condone hitting a female, period. But we need to separate the girlfriend, the fan, and on this side, the wife. If it's your wife, and your wife forgives you, doesn't press charges against you, I don't think the NFL or any other organization or institution should take your job away, because this lady is still your wife. You all will get through this.
And mind you,
but now you don't have an income,
right?
So I mean, this man's career is gone, but he still has his wife. They're in love. They're forgiving each other for what happened. See, let's be real. No man should put his hands on a woman.
Absolutely.
But it's life. These things happen every day, and there's always a story behind why did it happen. How did it happen? Can they recover from this? Is he remorseful? Will he seek help? So you have to consider a lot of things and just saying, okay, well, he hit a woman, he's gone, he hit a woman, he's gone, because the story, you have to get the whole story, and then you have to see how you affect both the female and the male. In this case, you have the female and the male are together.
Yeah, and that was Ray Rice. But here's the thing about Kareem Hunt. The thing that got me about the whole situation was the girl that he kicked on the floor, she didn't even press charges against him. So I'm kind of trying to figure this out, like, what was the whole point? But, oh, wait, my bad. Because TMZ got a hold of it and made y'all look bad, all of a sudden, now everybody got to do something about it. Newsflash.
Thank you, Mr. or Mrs. who took that video and killed this man's career.
Yeah, because let's just be honest about it. The only reason why he blew it the way he did, because TMZ Sports got a hold of it.
But he kicked her, though. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, he should have never did that.
That's horrible, yeah.
Should have never did that.
Was this his girlfriend?
No, that wasn't the situation. The situation was the girl was brought into the room to, I guess, have relations with one of his friends. The girl opted not to, so he kicked her out of her hotel room. He kicked her out, and then what ended up happening was, I guess there ended up being a verbal dispute. His entourage, who happens to be all African American, are saying that this woman was yelling out racial slurs, and that's what transpired. And then I guess between that point and the point of the video was when they were going back and forth. They push him away. He shoves her. She shoves him. And then next thing you know, they whisked him away. And then later on, he comes back and she gets knocked down. And then he kicks her while she was on the floor.
Hold up. Does this seem strange to you? I mean, she goes into the room for a purpose.
I'm not going to lie.
Doesn't want to fulfill that purpose.
I immediately thought the exact same thing because I said the exact same thing. I felt like it was a setup.
It's a setup.
I honestly believe it was a setup. But unfortunately,
he should not have acted the way he acted.
If he had, right. The only reason why you and I are having this debate right now is because of the fact that because of his reaction to the situation versus what actually transpired. And unfortunately, in this day and age of social media, and us media journalists ourselves, people are going to have a certain perception and a certain narrative that he comes off like the typical angry black man, that he can't control his emotions. Excuse me. And not only he can control his emotions, he takes it out on a white woman. So you see the perception. And it's unfortunate that happens, and it's unfortunate that it has to go like that, but that was the situation. So, but getting back to these picks. Lions, Cardinals, Lions, just because I can pick somebody because they're both bums. So
yeah, I go with the Lions as well.
Eagles, Cowboys. I'm going to choose the Eagles in this one because the Eagles, to me, they gotta beat the Cowboys. Because I'm sorry, if they want to get back into the playoffs this year, especially be coming off of a Super Bowl win, you might want to beat the Cowboys in order to get there. Because somebody gonna have to win this NFC East. Somebody got to win the NFC East because they ain't gonna be the Giants.
Well, I don't think I've ever picked the Cowboys, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys this week because what I seen from the Eagles was not a team that came in and beat a Washington that beat a Washington Redskins team at home or dominated the Washington Redskins. Basically the Redskins beat themselves.
Right.
So I'm not impressed with how the Eagles are playing at this point. So I'll definitely be going with the Cowboys this week, and this is the first.
Right. All right. So Steelers, Raiders. I'm going to roll with the Steelers. The Raiders is trash. And honestly, I think they're taking the season anyway because they about to move to Vegas, so it don't even matter. I'm going to roll with the Steelers.
Wouldn't this be the game? Wouldn't this be the game that the Raiders come off with a win? Just like the Cowboys came off with a win with the Saints.
Nope.
You don't think so?
Nope. Because the Cowboys is in a different situation. The Cowboys, they trying to get into the playoffs. They actually trying to win the division. The Raiders, on the other hand, they know they win the mathematically. They're already out of it anyway.
I agree with you. I'm definitely taking the Steelers as well.
Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me if they put up a hell of a fight.
Now, Rams, Bears. Now, I said this to a very great friend of mine who is actually running our show, Manny. I'm going to choose the Chicago Bears. I got to roll with the Bears because they got the number 3 overall defense against the number 2 overall offense in the NFL in the LA Rams. And the Rams got to go to Chicago in the cold. Now, granted, they're both outdoor teams, but the LA Rams have never played in the cold. And not that kind of cold on top of that, because that's a different kind of cold. See, New England cold is one thing, but Chicago cold, that's a frozen tundra. I'm wrong with the Bears.
You know what? I understand what you're saying, and I partially agree with what you're saying. But cold weather will be a factor. There are probably going to be a lot of fumbles, a lot of drop balls, and everything. But I'm looking at this LA Rams team, and I see playmakers. So I don't care if it's a fumble on the 50-yard line, and somebody from the Rams pick it up and run it into the end zone. That's a playmaker. I don't. And if there's a tip ball, and it's caught in midair, I'm seeing a way that the Rams can actually come out and win this game. They won't win this game by running the ball 40 times. They won't win this game by executing their normal offense because of the cold. So this is going to be a game of field position and turnovers, and I think the Rams have more playmakers on their team than the Bears.
All right, so Vikings, Seahawks. This one's a tough one. I think it's a tough one just because the Vikings just came off of a loss from New England. Is it from the Patriots? Seattle just came off of a win. And the problem is both teams are in a must-win situation. Both teams. Because right now, somebody's got to pick up one of those wild card spots. Because it's very obvious the Vikings are probably not going to pick it up just because of the fact that they're too many games behind the Bears, especially if the Bears win on Sunday. And if the Bears win on Sunday, then it's going to be hard for... it's going to be difficult for the Vikings to mathematically win that division. It'll be hard for them mathematically to win the division. So therefore, if I had to choose out of these two, I'm going to choose the Vikings on the road. I'm going to choose the Vikings on the road because of the fact that I know Seattle ain't got no corners. I know they front seven ain't the same. And with Earl Thomas being out of the lineup, the thing about the Seattle defense, that pass defense has actually gotten worse since he's been out because they went from being number 15 in the NFL to number 27 in the NFL. They have not been the same since Earl Thomas left, so I'm going to roll with the Vikings.
All right, Shane. Mm-hmm. You have a cup on the side of you that you're sipping off of, right?
Yes, that's very true.
Alcohol is absolutely prohibited in the studio.
It is prohibited.
So, I mean, maybe you got wine over there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a beer with 1% alcohol that you think may be okay. But I'm definitely thinking that Kirk Cousins, the weight has been lifted off of his shoulders. He's no longer thinking, I got to do better than Alex. Okay, Alex is hurt. I can't if Coke goes in there and he really tears it up, then they're going to be looking like Coke could have did it all the time. There's no Coke now. The weight is off of his shoulder. I think Kurt relaxes, and I think the season goes for the Vikings. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break down some NFL plays for you guys. So don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
When's the last time someone said thanks for checking over your shoulder before changing lanes? Or gave you a pat on the back for sticking to the speed limit? Or a thumbs up for not tailgating? Probably never. Which is too bad considering safe drivers make the road safer for everyone. That's why Allstate appreciates safe drivers like no one else. And they show it by saving you 45% or more, along with giving you safe driving bonus checks, deductible rewards, and extra discounts with the DriveWise app. So the next time you come to a complete stop in an intersection, ask yourself, why haven't I switched to Allstate?
The Brandeo Insurance Group, your local DMV Allstate agent, can help you save 45% or more for driving safely. Call him at 410-424-0844 and get a quote today.
It pays to drive safely. Call a local Allstate agent today and find out how you can save 45% or more. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
It's the new, all-natural, family-friendly pharmacy, Family Choice Pharmacy, located at 8313 Annapolis Road, New Carrollton, Maryland. Family Choice offers alternative medicines as well as discount programs you can easily enjoy. Come be a part of our family at Family Choice Pharmacy, as every family should know their pharmacist. If you're looking to join the family today, you can reach us at 301-577-1212 at Family Choice Pharmacy.
If you like to roller skate, you will love Lanham Skate Center. We offer all kinds of specials, birthday parties, skate classes, and more. You can even reserve the rink for a special event. Skate rentals only $3, so roll on over to Lanham Skate Center today. Located at 9901 Lanham Severn Road in Lanham, Maryland. For more information about our weekly schedule, visit us on the web at lanhamskatecenter.com or call for more information at 301-577-1733. That's 301-577-1733.
The ball is hype. He's scrambling right. He's scrambling left.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to break down a couple of plays right now. So, we're going to start with this first one. Mr. Regulated, what do we see right here?
Well, we see Mr. Shantaz in the shotgun formation for the Washington Redskins. Mm-hmm. What we will see is that the ball will be hyped to Mr. Shantaz. Mr. Shantaz is he's looking, he's scrambling. He's sacked, and he's fumbled, and he's recovered the fumble with his butt. And we get a closer look at this, and we'll see the Eagles pass rush, sack, fumble, the ball, and he recovers the ball with his butt. The butt recovery. This guy is known for using his butt for a lot of different things.
I just don't understand this.
Is this comical? I mean, really. I would have cut him the next day. The Redskins, you just don't need this.
You know what? I just don't understand about that play. Okay, so let's actually go back to how that play first started. So here you go, right here. So Eagles defense now, I want you guys to pay attention to this, okay? So clearly the Redskins come out as a trips right. Mm-hmm. Single high receiver on the left, right? As a running back in shotgun, just in case for the block possible, go out for the pass after he gives a little chip to the DM maybe. 4-man rush, typical 4-man rush. Now Brandon Graham is gonna come from here, right? So here's the thing. Now linebackers drop back, boom, 4-man rush. See right here. Now he does a stunt. So clearly he does a stunt, pulls an inside move. Then, bam, sacks the quarterback. But what I don't understand is, this is the thing that kind of gets me about these players. It's like, clearly it's very obvious that you got the sack, but you need to look for the football. And then, the butt fumble himself. Now, Trent Williams, you got a little beat on this one, brother. It's sad that we have to see that, and then the guy gets beat. He gets to the quarterback, sack, fumble, but then he recovers the football with his butt. Now, it's really sad that we have to break it down like that, but this was a simple 4-man rush out of the nickel defense because they was running nickel on that play because you guys had a lot of receivers out on the field, so therefore you had to compensate for that.
But you got 5 blockers and 4 rushers.
I know.
How does your quarterback not get 3 seconds?
Okay, well here's the thing though.
Yeah,
listen, I get that you got 5 blockers, but here's the thing about these 5 blockers. Let's take a look at this guy right here, number 91 himself. He's taking 2. Mm-hmm. Okay? He always takes 2. So, I mean, you can have 5 blockers all you want, but here's the thing. Are you really going to leave Fletcher Cox by one-on-one with your guys?
Well, looking at the play, Sanchez was rolling towards his right.
Right.
So that means Cox should have been double teamed, but the double team here probably shouldn't have been.
Right.
You know,
and it shouldn't have been right here
because Trent should have been angling outside, should have been blocking towards the outside, and this man will help him chip him, but picking up the fourth man right here. So this is where the problem went. This is where the problem went right there.
Right. Exactly. And so that's why I'm like, this whole play was doomed from the start because of the fact that, like, where the double team was clearly supposed to be, ladies and gentlemen, because that was very obvious that the double team didn't go the way it was supposed to go. But it's like, if you're going to double team somebody, you definitely got to double team Fletcher Cox. But you picked the wrong double team, and the next thing you know, Brandon Graham finds his way inside. And then once he found his way inside, I mean, it's where you get the butt fumble. That's where you get the fumble and the butt recovery.
It's a good thing it wasn't a pile on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, a pile on it, and he holding the ball towards his butt. I mean, do you go in at it, or I mean, I don't know. You know, I always tell.
Yeah, I really just. I mean, for the life of that. Oh yeah, for the life of me, I just didn't understand that. I was just like, man. And then on top of that, unfortunately for the Redskins, they went on to lose that game 28-13.
What happened to the ball?
That's a good question.
Yeah, maybe they took that ball out of the game.
Possibly. Now, there's another play that I want everybody to pay attention to because I thought this one was arguably one of the worst plays I've seen in a long time. So, it really blew me when I saw this play. So, Derrick Henry. So I want people to see this, right?
Broke a tackle at the 6. To the 20. Stiff arm at the 20.
So right here, this is a simple blitz by the Jaguars. You can't see the corner or the two safeties that were up high. Because they were, I don't know why they was expecting pass against the Titans, because everybody knows the Titans they rarely run the football. They are run first team. They've always been a run first team. But then that's not what bothers me. Let me tell you what bothers me. You should have caught him right here, but then he breaks outside. Now look, he's not moving that fast. Then he breaks it up the sideline, stiff arm to Jacobs, suns him, then he suns Miles Jack, and that's it. Touchdown. 99 yards. First off, if you allow 99 yards on one play, it means that 1,000 things went wrong on the defensive side of the ball. Because see, the thing about defense, you can make a mistake. You can make a mistake on defense. On offense, you can't make that mistake. And then next thing you know, you see this, just guns it down the sideline, and then that was the end of that. And it was just like, come on, man. Come on. I mean, that's just...
You know, I would have loved to have been the commentator calling that play right there.
Yeah.
It's like, he breaks a tackle at the 6, to the 10, to the 15, stiff arm at the 20. He's down the sideline to the 50, stiff arm at the 50, still going on his feet. He spins out of the tackle at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. He's going to go in. Touchdown! That was fun.
Yeah, I for the life of me just don't understand that. You had the perfect defensive play call. You did.
But you know what? You say he wasn't going fast, but for that to be a 99-yard touchdown...
Well, he was going fast enough.
It went pretty fast. Because when I look at the Adrian Peterson 90-yard touchdown, it took forever for him to get to the end zone.
I said the same thing. I was just like, come on, guys. Like, yo, there's just no way. It's just really crazy to me that, you know, that I even saw that. It's just... And mind you, they crowd the line of scrimmage. So the thing that gets me is, look how many guys is up on that line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You had 7 guys up on that line of scrimmage to match their 7. Then these 2 backers right here, that should have easily been shut down. Okay? So you had 7 guys right here. Then you got your 2 linebackers right here. So right now they're in a 6-2 defense. So you had you had the play call right. How? I'm just trying to figure this out. How did you allow this to happen? I'm just trying to figure that.
The first thing I see is they look at the line. They're pushing all the way down. They're pushing 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, they are. And so then
the offensive line.
Poor AJ Bouye. I mean, look at that highlight.
All the face mask. I would have said he face masked me.
Yeah, and then after that, he just. I mean, it was just. It was bad.
That's pure determination. Like, get off of me, 44.
Yeah, it was bad. But you know what?
I mean, do we still tackle and go for the legs, or are we what are we doing?
I don't think. I think the problem is, and I can even go back to this throughout this entire play.
If you look at 44 and 48, clearly they had their hand. Well, why not go for the legs? Why not sweep the legs?
Right.
Okay, watch this.
Now, 21, AJ Bouye, he's a corner, so I don't expect him to make that tackle.
He's out of position anyway.
But he was out of position, 1, and then 2, he went up too high.
Yeah,
then Jacobs.
Right there. Go for the legs! Go for the legs!
Right. You got to go for the legs in that situation because, first off, he's a big guy. He's 6'3", 232 pounds. Big man. He's not going to go down.
Right.
I'm sorry, 6'3", 242. I'm sorry. He's actually 240. But he's a big man. You're not going to go up high on that guy, so you want to take his legs out. Didn't go high, goes too high, gets stiff-armed.
Get his legs! Get his legs!
Then Miles Jack tries it. Doesn't work.
Everybody's arm tackling up towards the waist area and the chest area. I mean, push him out of bounds if you don't want to tackle him.
This is just piss poor tackling, and then on top of that, they had the right defensive play call. The defense was in position. They just got beat up on that play. The offensive line just opened the hole and said, "Go."
That if you rewind, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
This offensive line controlled this line of scrimmage. Watch this offensive line push these guys back at least almost 10 yards.
Yep. And
I mean, this is winning the battle up front right here. Watch this. Look, watch this.
Yeah, and there was actually a hole right there. Now I thought he would have hit that hole, but then it closed up kind of quick.
Pushing. Look at they pushing.
And he pushed him up 5 yards at least, and then
they still pushing.
And they were still pushing.
Stay on your block.
Yep. And then that was it. And that was all she wrote. And then after that, Corey Davis has helped out a little bit. And he is it. And then after that, that was it. Nothing anybody can do.
Well, there's a linebacker out there that's begging to be back in the NFL. Gillette Jr. You may want to give him a call. Maybe he could have went for the legs.
Could have helped him out.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Listen, real quick, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about Deontay Wilder. I believe we're going to talk about Wilder. Don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
State and local government exercise very important functions in the United States. They are responsible for creating state legislation which can become state law. They plan and pay for roads, run public schools, parks and libraries, provide water and utilities, and organize law enforcement, elections, and much more. As citizens, local government is more easily obtainable and are the means in which we communicate to the federal government. This is why it is important that we vote in more than just primary presidential elections. Midterm and local elections are just as, if not more, important for our communities and its efficiency. Resistance is local. Criminal justice reform is local. Gentrification is local. And the right to vote is a privilege that once was not granted to all citizens because of their gender, race, or ethnicity. So today, we are all afforded this right, and we should vote at every given opportunity, simply because we can. Early voting is October 25th through November 1st, and the official midterm election date is November 6th. For more information on voting in poll areas, please visit the link below.
And we're back, folks. So, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the part of the show that I want you guys to really, really understand something. Here's what it is. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. We saw this fight coming. I knew this fight was happening. And the problem is you know, I think this is the issue. My thing is, is how are you going to sit here and tell me that this fight was a draw? A draw. I would have understood if you would have said, if you would have picked Fury, I wouldn't have been mad. If you would have picked Wilder, I wouldn't have been mad. But you ended it in a draw. So, listen, Regulator, your thoughts, man.
How do you get a draw out of 2 knockdowns?
I said the same thing.
How do you get a draw when a champion is not knocked out?
Yep.
But before this fight even happened, I said that Wilder would probably lose, or it would be a draw if it goes past the 6th round. Wilder has not really been tested, so you know when I see a draw, you know I'm thinking, how did this happen? But then I see a bigger payday. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, okay, this was a setup for a bigger payday. Wilder clearly should have won this fight. You know, in my opinion.
I feel the exact same way. I can't get over the fact that you had 2 knockdowns. One of which he really should have been knocked out, but you know, I felt like the ref was counting kind of slow, but that's none of my business. But in my opinion, in my expert opinion, Wilder should have been 41-0. He should have been 41-0.
He got 41 fights.
He got 40. Yeah.
Wow.
41 fights. 40-0. And not only he's 40-0, but now he's got the 1 draw on his record. Yeah. So it kind of concerns me. That concerns me. You know, I don't feel like they did him justice. I feel like this is what they do. And, you know, it's just like, how? You know, I don't believe this is right. I really don't believe this is right.
So what's next? Is it a rematch or?
So here's the thing. I think that there's gonna be a rematch. It's just that the problem is what I'm afraid of. Cause I feel like this is what might happen. I feel like they're gonna do Wilder the same way they did Triple G. I can already see the writing on this wall before it even happens. Because you remember what happened with Triple G when he saw Alvarez for the second time. Everybody was like, well, you know, Alvarez, da-da-da. Everybody felt like Triple G won the fight, but then next thing you know, Alvarez won by decision. And me personally, I saw that writing on the wall because they knew they can make some more money off it. Now, Triple G is going to get a rematch, but the fact is he's not undefeated anymore. His record is blemished. It is what it is. And now he's got to go back to the drawing board, try to get back into the ring, and he's going to have to fight Alvarez again for a third time in order to, you know, say, hey, I beat this guy, blah, blah, blah. Who else do I need to fight? This situation, Wilder wants to beat Fury because he wants Anthony Joshua. Because Joshua's been ducking him all this time, all the trash he's been talking. But I will give Fury one thing out of all these fighters that I've seen Wilder fight. Fury was giving him a lot of problems throughout this entire fight. You know, throughout the rounds that I did see. He gave him some problems. And I said to people, I'm like, it wasn't going to go down the way everybody thought it was going to go down. I thought he could have knocked him out by 6th or 8th round. That's what I thought. But, you know, Wilder didn't do that. And they're going all 12. But you knocked him down in round 9, and you knocked him down in round 12. And so, what I firmly believe is, if only Wilder could have, like, seriously, like, done something to, like, possibly make this, you know, go the distance or whatever, I think it could have been a different outcome, and you and I wouldn't even be having this conversation. I'd be talking about, when Joshua and Wilder gonna fight? Now we gotta go ahead and do that. So it looks like we got a caller, so here we go. Caller, you're live.
Hello, am I on the air?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I wanted to comment. I think I wanted to comment about what you said. Here's the thing. This was the biggest platform that Wilder ever had in his career. And I think he was really anxious, and I think the anxiety kicked in, and he just wanted to really prove to everybody that he wanted to knock Tyson out. So he wasn't relaxed, and even he said in a couple of interviews that when he forces a knockout, he has an issue. We've seen all his fights before, and I can tell you right now, he's more of a calculated fighter than he was in that Tyson Fury fight. He wasn't used to the limelight. He wasn't used to all the big crowd. He wasn't used to the press conferences and the back and forth talk. This was a huge platform. The brother was nervous, and he just wanted to get that one punch in there. Usually when he's not looking for the knockout, it happens.
Hey, caller, I completely agree with you, but for my money and paying for the pay-per-view, he needs to conduct himself as a professional fighter. If he has anxiety, they got pills for that. Go seek professional help. But when you get into that ring for my money, in Vegas, I'm betting on the odds and paying for the seat or paying to see it at home. Look, the lights and this is. I mean, you should be prepared for this.
Yeah.
That's no excuse. So my question to you, caller, what do you think should happen next?
Well, he said he wants a rematch. I mean, that's where the money's at. Joshua right now is a has-been. So you got to go where the popularity is. This is the most that we've ever seen Wilder. This is a good look for him. So he's going to continue to build his popularity. He's getting interviews on late-night TV. I mean, this is something he's never experienced. So finally, people are recognizing him, even though they're recognizing him as someone who lost the fight. Majority people are thinking that. So I think the next thing for Wilder is a rematch.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much more money can be generated in a rematch. I'm not sure if I would even want to see a rematch of that. But what I do know is that I would like, if I'm the promoter, I like to get the top four. It's Joshua, Tyson, who else?
There was Klitschko, and then there's King Kong Ortiz.
Oh yeah, get the top four and put Wilder at the top and do brackets. And then the winner of these four face the winner of the four face Wilder. And I'm saying this will generate more money because if it's an HBO thing or a Showtime thing, then it's a 3-part. It's the first bracket, the second bracket, two fights on the first bracket.
They're not going to do that. They're going to go where the money is. So it's going to be a rematch between Tyson Fury. And as far as what you said, Shane, it's not going to be. I don't see it being a Triple G type of thing with Canelo. I think he's going to knock him out early because he'll be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed. I mean, I believe that if Tyson Fury gets knocked out in the rematch, he won't get back up again. I can guarantee you that.
I mean, that may very well be true, but here's the thing. I just don't see how that's going to happen, considering the fact that if they let this to a draw. Now, I get it from a lot of people's perspective. Fury, was kind of working him, but I can't overlook the fact. The fact is, Fury got knocked down twice. It wasn't like it was once.
Yeah.
He got knocked down twice. Wilder never got knocked down. So as far as I'm concerned, I really don't see how it's not going to be the same situation with Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. I don't see how that cannot happen again. You knocked this man down twice and they took it to a draw? I mean, I could care less if he was winning such and such rounds. The man was knocked down twice. That's all I need to know. So that told me everything I needed to know. And and then the other thing is, like I said, in the latter rounds, Wilder came back alive. But it is what it is.
I mean, Wilder knocked him down twice.
Yeah.
He's a champion. And you want me to pay my money for this to sit there and watch another setup, a rematch? No, I don't want to see a rematch. I want to
believe it's going to be a setup.
I want a build up to a possible rematch. I want a build up to Wilder facing someone else out of the bracket, the top one of the top four. I don't just want a rematch.
Yep, but as a caller, thank you for coming. As a calling in. You know, we're probably going to end up debating this again because we clearly know it's going to happen again. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for calling in.
Thank you for taking my call.
All right. In the interest of time, what is it? Well, folks, unfortunately, we are out of time, so we're not unable to get to the Wizards today, but we will get to them next week. So
shame.
I know.
We can't talk about Otto Porter leaving.
I wish I could, man, but we'll talk. Listen, we'll definitely bring that up next week. So I want you guys to go to the YouTube page, the No BS No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show YouTube page. Also, I want you to go to the Facebook group, No BS No Holds Barred Facebook viewer group, and then also I want you to go to No BS No Holds Barred sportstalk.blogspot.com so you can follow our blog on Blogger and stuff like that. If we could actually see that up there, so that way our viewers can take a look at that. So then that way everybody can know where to go. And looks like we're having some technical. There we go. All right, so there we go. Go to the No BS No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group on Facebook. Then I want you guys to go ahead and follow our blog on Blogger. Should be the next one right there. Then there we go. No BS No Holds Barred Sports Talk.blogspot.com. I want you to follow me on social media. And then you guys can see my social media, insane_Shane29, underground SP29, 6_29, and No BS No Holds Barred for Instagram. And then, of course, my Facebook, and then Underground Sports LC.com. Mr. Unregulated, your social media?
Instagram, Mr. Unregulated for you.
And there it is. Then I want you to advertise with us. Come to undergroundsportslc@gmail.com. Send us an email, and then we will go from there. Ladies and gentlemen,
join the No BS Facebook group conversation and discussions. And we'll see you next week.
We are out of the building.
Out.
Peace.